So Luke asks, what's the best way to monetize YouTube? Well, the straight off the cuff answer to monetizing YouTube is you have to build a list from your YouTube channel. You have to get people's emails. Now, is that the way the majority of the pro YouTubers are making money? No, it's not. Tragically, it's not. They make money from advertising views. If you can create a video which gets 1 million views, YouTube will send you a check for 10 grand. It's sort of how it works. Now you think, oh, that's pretty good. But actually, that's terrible numbers. Like from an ad and economics perspective, YouTube are getting that exposure for pennies. It's really quite ridiculous. However, a lot of people do that. They just get views and they place ads on. The far smarter and the number one way people are making money on their YouTube channels right now is what we call native advertising. You might have heard of it in movies as product placement. Okay, so if you pick up this particular glass and say, I love this delicious water, or even better, although it's finished now, sadly, my Nespresso. If I'm having my Nespresso coffee cup and you can see my little Nespresso machine over here on the background, and I mention how I'm changing my life with Nespresso, and it's just a fantastic thing to have here in the office because I can have a really perfect espresso every time, even though hipsters would make me, I'd seriously have to hand in my coffee drinker's card here in Melbourne if I admitted to having Nespresso. Anyway, the point is, while I'm talking about that, advertisers, now, just to be clear, Nespresso didn't pay me, although, hey, anybody from Nespresso call me, let's do a deal. But that is actually how most YouTubers are making really decent money, because people who have products to sell realize that the relationship you have with your audience, and you've got to treat this relationship very, very importantly. If you build up that level of respect in an authority in your audience, then native advertising is probably the number one way of making money with a YouTube channel. My preferred approach, what we do, is that you use the YouTube channel as a way to build your list, to grow your audience. So we very rarely use our YouTube channel for direct promotion. Not that I haven't got anything against that. I happily put up launch videos on my YouTube channel. I don't have a problem with that. But as a general rule, it's for being part of that, contributing back to your market. Remember what focus 2, we talked a couple of weeks away about the 6 key business focuses. And focus number 2 is providing value to your tribe. It's a key job. And I see the YouTube channel as being fantastic there. And then using that YouTube channel to point people to things that are going to be valuable for them to be able to then build the list, create the funnel, build the list. So there's sort of my 3 ways of doing it. There are other ways too. Another way, which is really, really interesting, a lot of the gamers are using this, and I think you're going to see this start to spread, is they're using things like Patreon. So what's Patreon, I hear you say? Well, Patreon is a way of people effectively subscribing to your stream. It's not handled through YouTube, but it's handled by this site called Patreon. And a lot of podcasts and YouTubers are actually sustaining themselves. They've built up $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 in subscriptions from people just becoming patrons. $1 a month, $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month patrons for their particular channel. And even donations they're using to build money. Now, I haven't seen anybody making super mega money on that, but boy, if you're making $2,000 or $3,000 as part of your YouTube channel, you're certainly covering your costs. And when you look at some of the things that are coming down the pipe with regards to broadcasting and all of those sorts of things, that money is really useful. So that's another way I think that people are sort of making advantage of all of that. So there's some of my suggestions in terms of YouTube monetization.